So this question is an island question. Any question that has an equation or an inequality like this one, or a table that floats on top of a question, I'm going to call it an island question. So what I do with island questions is I always go directly to Desmos and just type in the equation or table or inequality as it is provided. So that's exactly what I did here. So I have 11x plus 14y is less than or equal to 115. So I typed it into Desmos just as it was provided, and we can see we have this shaded graph with a solid red line, and I've just highlighted what the y-intercept is and what the x-intercept is. Okay, so then we always go back and see, well, did I really need that graph or not? 95% of the time you will use it. There's a 5% chance that you may not need it, but I think it's still a great habit to have. It doesn't take all that much time. So the question here says Anthony will spend at most $115 to purchase X small cheese pizzas and Y large cheese pizzas. So we know X is for small and we know Y is for large for a team dinner. The given inequality represents this situation. Okay, so X small cheese pizzas, Y large cheese pizzas, and spending at most $115, right? So not spending any more than $115. Which of the following is the best interpretation of 14Y in this context? Well, we know that Y represents large pizza, so our answer has to involve large cheese pizzas. That's for sure, right? Because X involves small cheese pizzas. But how about the 14? Well, because everything in this inequality has to do with money, right? The 115 is dollar amount that is most the cap in which that Anthony will spend. Then the other numbers here, the 11 and the 14, have to also do with money. So I'm going to assume that the 14 in front of the Y represents the cost of a large pizza, that each pizza is $14. But let's say I didn't assume that, and all I knew for sure was that Y is large cheese pizzas, like was given to me. Let's look at the answer choices. So choice A, the amount in dollars Anthony will spend on each large cheese pizza. I like that because it includes money, but also just because it has large cheese pizza involved. So I'm not going to cross that out. Choice B, the amount in dollars Anthony will spend on each small cheese pizza. So small cheese pizza definitely has nothing to do with the Y value. So B is gone. We know that Y is regarding large cheese pizzas. Choice C, the total amount in dollars Anthony will spend on large cheese pizzas. So I like that one as well. But it does say total amounts, right? So maybe now to compare A versus C, but I'm going to move on to D first. Choice D, the total amount in dollars Anthony will spend on small cheese pizzas. Okay, so definitely has nothing to do with small cheese pizzas because that's X. So is 14Y the amount Anthony will spend on each large cheese pizza? Or is 14Y the amount Anthony will spend, the total amount Anthony will spend on all of the large cheese pizzas? Well, because again, this inequality has to do with the total amount that's being spent, right, being under that 115. And because the question tells me that Y is the number of large cheese pizzas, then 14 times Y should be the total amount spent. We can also figure this out just by making up a number for Y and say, well, what if we bought 5 large cheese pizzas? Then 14 times 5, in this case, must give us a number, in this case it'd be 70, but must give us a number that represents the total amount spent on a cheese pizza. So hopefully that makes sense. Choice C is the better answer here, the total amount versus each cheese pizza. 14 by itself is for each, but 14Y, right, 14 times the number of cheese pizzas will be the total amount. So choice C is the best answer.